Are you seeing the same numbers everywhere? You're not imagining it. The universe is talking to you. It's happening more often than you might think. 1111, 333, 444. Why are these numbers popping up over and over for so many of us? These sequences are too precise, too intentional to be random, like a hidden language reaching out to you. Each time you glance at the clock, the receipt, your phone, you're greeted by a number that seems to leap out. Think about it. It's not just coincidence. Because right now, you're not alone. There are countless others noticing the exact same patterns, and it's crucial for you to be aware of their meaning. Why is the universe insisting on getting certain messages through to us? Each number, each pattern, is like a personalized nudge. If 222 shows up, it might be a signal to find balance. If you see 555, it could be a warning for you to brace yourself for changes, big shifts, an invitation to evolve, but it might also not be. These numbers don't appear by chance. They're a type of language that only you can fully interpret based on where you are right now. So don't take anything for granted. You have to look at them yourself. Think back to the last time you saw these numbers. What were you feeling? Thinking? Avoiding? That context could be the clue. Maybe it was a moment where you felt lost, unsure, or even inspired. Each number is layered with meaning, meant to catch you at just the right time. The question is, will you answer the call or let it pass you by? Sometimes, the universe has ways of getting our attention that go far beyond numbers. Ever notice that the same song seems to play everywhere you go? Or maybe an old friend you haven't thought about in years suddenly calls you out of the blue, right when you needed to talk. What if these moments aren't just random? What if there's something more? Imagine this. You're having a tough day, feeling lost, and right then, a song comes on. One that lifts your mood instantly or makes you think of something you've forgotten. Or maybe you're pondering a big decision, and you keep hearing the same phrase, almost like an echo. Take the leap, or trust yourself. Could these be hints? Small nudges guiding us in ways that numbers can't? The truth is, the universe can be as subtle or as bold as it needs to be. When numbers aren't enough, it'll find a way. You might even catch yourself seeing symbols, animals, or colors that seem to appear at just the right time. Think about it. What are the odds that you keep running into the same symbols, the same words, over and over? Coincidence? Or something trying to push you in a certain direction? Imagine the universe pulling strings, arranging events just to send you messages that can't be ignored. These patterns are often deeply personal. Maybe that song that keeps playing reminds you of a friend who gave you crucial advice, or that random phone call from an old colleague sparks an idea you hadn't considered. What if these synchronicities are actually breadcrumbs that help us discover paths we'd otherwise miss? Start paying attention not just to numbers, but to everything around you, the conversations you overhear, the things that just show up in your life out of nowhere. What if these unexpected moments are the universe's way of showing you a new direction? Keep asking yourself, what is the universe trying to show me? When the universe is sending you signs, what happens if you just ignore them? Seeing 111 on the clock every day, having random coincidences pop up again and again, is it just happening to you, or are you part of this cosmic conversation? If you're ignoring these signs, you're leaving the universe on read. Picture it. Every time you see 444 or bump into a random sign, it's like the universe sending you a direct message. But if you're just noticing these signs and brushing them off, you're essentially ghosting the universe. What could be waiting on the other side of these messages if you actually responded? What if the universe has been trying to get your attention for weeks, months, even years, and you're missing out on guidance that's right in front of you? Imagine you're in a conversation with someone who's trying to help you, but you keep looking away, ignoring what they're saying. Eventually, that person will stop trying to reach you. What if the universe is doing the same? What if each ignored sign is a missed opportunity, a potential life change, a new direction, an insight that's been waiting to open a door for you? Ask yourself, what's the risk of leaving these signs unanswered? Ignoring these signals might mean missing out on the very things we're asking for, whether it's clarity on a problem, a new path, or a fresh perspective. But if we keep ghosting these messages, we could miss out on synchronicities that are specifically designed to guide us toward what we're meant to find. So, what if today is the day to stop ghosting the universe? Start seeing these signs as an invitation to respond, to engage, to say, okay, I'm listening. Because if you're receiving messages this often, it's for a reason. What if those signs aren't just there to guide you, but to test you? Think about it. You're finally making positive changes, focusing on yourself, feeling ready for something new. And then, suddenly, you keep seeing 666 everywhere. It's almost like the universe is pushing back, throwing you a curveball to see how you'll react. Will you freak out, doubt yourself, or will you see it for what it really is? A test to overcome negativity, to rise above your fears. The universe has a way of tossing in cosmic tests, signs that challenge us to see if we're truly ready to level up. And sometimes it goes even deeper. Take 999, a number often seen as the completion code. But if you look closely, it's also a mirror image of 666. It's like a message from the universe saying, you've faced the negative. Now can you turn it into something positive? It's the ultimate sign of transformation, taking everything you've learned from the hard moments and flipping it into something empowering. Some synchronicities are there to test your patience, your ability to trust, your willingness to let go of what's no longer serving you. They're not meant to scare you, they're meant to push you, to strengthen you. If you're seeing 777, it could be asking you to trust in something bigger, to believe that even when things seem chaotic, there's a higher order at work. But if you resist, if you ignore these tests, you might find yourself facing the same challenges over and over. Think of these signs as the universe's version of tough love, a way to see if you're really ready for the next step. Because sometimes growth isn't about comfort, it's about challenge. So next time you're faced with a number that shakes you up, don't dismiss it. Instead, ask yourself, what is this testing in me? It could be your chance to break through, to prove to yourself and the universe that you're ready for what's next. Could it be that you're stuck in a cycle, constantly seeing the same numbers, the same signs, and yet feeling no real change in your life? Imagine that you keep seeing 333 everywhere, day after day, but nothing seems to shift. What if it's because you're ignoring something crucial, something the universe is practically shouting at you to see? Repeating synchronicities aren't just a reminder, they could be a warning. Until you learn this lesson, I'll keep showing you the same sign. When we ignore synchronicities, it's almost like we're hitting the snooze button on an alarm that's meant to wake us up to something important. If the universe keeps sending the same sign again and again, it could mean you're in a kind of synchronicity loop. You're seeing the signs, but they're not pushing you forward. They're keeping you in place. And why? Because you're missing the deeper message, the one that says, make a change here. Shift your perspective there. Think of these loops as cosmic checkpoints. They're there to ensure you don't move forward without understanding the lesson. Seeing 333 over and over, it might be asking if you're truly aligned with mind, body, and spirit. Maybe you're focusing too much on one and neglecting the others. Or maybe you're clinging to something that's no longer meant for you. Whatever it is, the loop won't break until you do. Ask yourself, am I seeing these signs because I'm ignoring a change the universe knows I need? Until you shift, the signs will keep you spinning in the same place. Ever have a synchronicity that feels so strange, so perfectly timed, that it's almost like you're peeking into another dimension? What if synchronicities are not just messages, but portals, moments where you're catching glimpses of alternate paths, even alternate versions of yourself? Imagine synchronicities as windows, briefly showing us what could be if we're willing to see it. Consider this. You're facing a big decision, feeling torn between two choices, and suddenly you start seeing 1111 everywhere. What if each of those moments is a signal telling you you're at a crossroads, and the choices you make now have the potential to ripple out across many possible versions of your life? Some believe that synchronicities are like glitches in reality, moments where the boundaries of time and space get thinner, and you're able to feel or even glimpse paths that exist beyond your current one. Think of them as nudges from the universe, as if it's saying, in another version of this reality, you've already made a different choice. Maybe you're being given the chance to align with a life path that's more true to you, to follow the signs that might reveal a life path closer to your heart's desires. When you encounter a powerful synchronicity, don't just brush it off. Feel into it. It might be the universe offering you a glimpse, asking you to notice, to pay attention, to consider how your next choice could shape everything. What if those patterns you keep seeing aren't just interesting little coincidences? What if they're warning signs, telling you you're going the wrong way? Imagine each synchronicity is like a road sign, and every time you ignore one, you're missing a turn, drifting farther off course. Say you're seeing 555 all over the place. You might think, interesting. But what if 555 actually means it's time for a major course correction? Like the universe's way of saying, take the next exit. Maybe you're clinging to a situation that's run its course, a job that's draining you, a routine that's numbing, or even a mindset that's blocking you from something new. Every synchronicity could be a signpost from the universe warning you, don't get too comfortable here. It's time to switch lanes. When you start looking at synchronicities this way, they become more than signs. They're like cosmic GPS recalculations. The universe is redirecting you towards something you've been ignoring, something that could get you back on track. If you're constantly seeing 444, it might be calling for a foundation check. Are you building your life on solid ground? Or are you rushing ahead, overlooking the basics, the things that really matter? The beauty of these signs is that they're personal. Your 555 isn't necessarily someone else's 555. It's tailored guidance designed specifically to redirect you. What if the universe is sending you signals that are too important to ignore? What if by brushing off synchronicities, you're missing life-changing chances, moments you might one day look back on and think, if only I'd paid attention? Ignoring synchronicities isn't just ignoring coincidences. It's turning away from guidance that could alter your path. These signs, these synchronicities, they're more than just interesting patterns. They're wake-up calls, messages you might not want to ignore. No one's saying you should live in fear of missing out, but imagine how different things could be if you embraced these signals instead of brushing them off. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.